taking your right hand and bringing it up, sort of like a hook, like a C, coming up and over, right? And this is actually the solar side of your body. This is the action or the masculine part of doing, right? The sun is out, yay. So this is that part in your life, right? When you want to have something done, you have to do it. And this is the call to action of life. It's the rising of the solar, the doing, right? But it cannot only be, and that's why, right, sometimes practicing in a heated room can start to agitate that side of the body of just action, action, action. You also have to have the lunar, the soft, cooling side, right? And that's the divine, the feminine. So bringing the left hand, and it comes open like this. And it's sort of the sun and the moon are in that rhythm of sort of chasing each other, right? They're always moving in this circular, right? That energy of life, even though we know we're moving around the sun. But it is this movement here, right? So you're going to use that, right? The lunar and the masculine, the action of offering and receiving. Because, right, yoga is a place of giving, right? We're giving of our practice, we're giving of our time, we're giving of our energy, but we're also receiving. We're getting from the practice, right? So you're going to turn and come to someone, and you move in, and you give them a hug. Oh. Yeah, a big hug. Make sure you really get in there. Yes. Oh. And you better hug your mom, wherever she's at. I know your mom's here, so you better hug her, right? Getting in. So that's the best part of the, like I said, everything else is just kind of like, downhill from there, right? It's really not, but it is. Like, that's the beauty of yoga, is coming together, right? And there's so much of that, right, in our life that we feel very sometimes disconnected. Even when we come into our yoga practice. Sorry, I'm always DJing. It's not like I'm texting my friends. And on Facebook and Instagram, I'm always like changing the music for the mood and stuff like that. People are always asking, what are you doing with your phone all the time? I'm like, changing the music. It's got to be shift and change. We got to know what's going on. But there is that feeling of sort of, we come to our yoga practice sometimes, and it's just my mat, my stuff, my practice. But we're in a space of connecting. And as I've traveled the world, really that beauty of the yoga is that place of connection, right? No matter where you go, there's that energy of giving and receiving, of actually communing in a way of not just being like, hi, how are you? Right? Of really sharing in the flow of prana, the big energy, right? So as we come into this today, we're going to feel these two particular movements of prana. And those would be, I know some of you are like, you're getting a yoga lesson right now, and it's okay. Just let it wash over you. For those who want, for those who don't care, you can just hear my voice like, wah, 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 wah. He's just talking a lot, right? Because we're going to be here a lot, right? So we have a long day. But the two movements of prana we're going to really feel is apana vayu. And that is the energy that helps us to ground, right? Because none of us are levitating just yet, right? We're not floating around this planet, right? But we need to ground, really feel that element of the earth, right? So that being said, being that we're going to get into the earth, we're going to be deep, deep, deep in the hips, right? And that is that energy of really stabilizing, getting in touch in the first and second chakra, right? The Muladhara. And as the world shifts, as energy happens, things go on, it's important to really connect into that space of the Muladhara. It is the mantra of I am. Right? And it's not the I am of the many hats we wear, right? Mother, daughter, yogi, brother, sister, lover, mom and dad, right? We wear these hats, we call ourselves that, right? But there's that true essence, right, that gets to the heart of what it is, the I am. Right? And then that second part being the feeling. You can't have it without. When we're in the hips, it's all going to be in this feeling, right? So whatever happens, let it. Even if when we're in a lot of like hip openers, For some, when we go into deep hip opening, you may get angry. It's okay. You can yell at me. You can swear at me. I am fine. It will not bother me, right? Because it starts to stimulate things that we hold on to, things that we don't like to share. Right? We want to guard, right? And so that is a place where we need to just dive deeper into it. And so whatever happens, just let it flow, let it be, right? Because that will then allow you to free, to open. Because we're going to feel that energetic as we root down, we're going to rise up. Right? We're taking it up. And so I will say we will be, for those who do know your Sanskrit, we will be in Vishvamitrasana. Some's like, I don't know what that is. Some who do, yay! If you're not, don't worry about it. They're all done in kramas. They're all done in stages. In every krama, I will tell you, this is the first krama. Stay there. You may have to stay there for 108 years, maybe 108 lifetimes. Maybe you'll never achieve full Vishvamitrasana. That's okay. You don't have to do every asana in the asana playbook. Some of us get really hooked in that. It's one of the life lessons when you get older. You're like, I don't have to do all those anymore. Yay! I still have them in my book, but I don't have to do them, right? It's learning what really serves you, right? So we will be in that. For those who are like, what is Vishvamitrasana? Translates roughly is to compass. Compass. Where do you want to go, right? As we root down, right, as we come into the earth, how do you want to flourish? How do you want to see your life transformed? Right? The earth energy, as you are here in this desert climate, right? I love being in the desert climate, right? Because it's very amazing to see the things that exist in the desert. Flowers, trees, right? There is life in the desert, and there's power in that, right? And it feels that great awakening that comes from it, right? And so connecting, where do you want to change? Where do you want to shift? As life hands you a curveball sometimes, right? How can you flourish? How can you blossom in that? Right. Oh, are you ready? We're already on the journey. Like I said, everything after the hug's just downhill. We're just going to go. So we're going to start with the feet nice and open. And taking a soft bend into the elbows, and let the palms just face up. Just allow the eyes to close. And just begin to hear that call of the breath. Hear your intention. What is your mantra? What is it that you are transforming from the root? And that seed of transformation, right? As we feel that shift, as we are entering into the spring and we feel the great awakening of that fire of the sun, entering close to the summer solstice, feeling that great fire awakened within you. And as you inhale, just gently let the hands come up towards the shoulders. As you exhale, let the hands turn and float down towards the earth. It's a simple moving meditation, entering into the flow. Inhale, feel the hands softly rise. And as you exhale, letting the hands return down. And this is that movement of prana that we talked about. As the hands are floating down, it follows the current of apana vayu. And as the hands are gently rising, it is that lifting energy of prana vayu. It is that energy that draws us up out of that fertile soil of the divine, the great Shaktima. So as we're here together in the flow, in this rhythm, we're going to offer out the sound of Om. And we'll offer it to these 2 movements of prana to really honor that current. Right? All 5 movements of prana are happening, but here really feeling that apana, that rooting down, and the prana, that rising up from the soil, the nectar of life. So as we exhale, letting the hands press down. And as you inhale, feel them gently rise. Together with the sound of Om as they float down. Om. Let the hands pause in the Apana Vayu. Inhale. Chant as they rise now. Om. And then just drawing into the heart center. And just take a moment. Feel your intention, your mantra. What is it that is transforming through your practice, through our time here together? And coming from the heart space. So as the eyes then softly open, smiling at those across and around. Yes. If anything, you should smile in your yoga class. Right? If it's something that you do every day, it means it brings joy. And joy doesn't look like this. Right? It's like, yeah. And some of us may only do it once a week, right? But it's a week, and there's something that draws us time and time. So let the hands release down. Sweep out that same movement. Feel it rise up. And then drawing down, hands to the center. Feel the Sushumna Nadi line. Let it sweep out, inhale, rise. This time, drawing down, soften the knees, sit towards the heels. Let the hands touch the earth. Inhale, lengthen, lift halfway, flat back. Exhale as you fold. Sweep out to the side, same action, let it rise, lift. Feel that drawing heaven down, exhaling. Let the hands touch the earth. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold. Sweep it out, inhale, rise up. Same action now, staying in this rhythm, this moving meditation. Exhale down. Hands touch the earth. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Just a few more cycles. Same rhythm. Breath guiding this movement as we rise up. Prana Vayu. Heaven to earth. Apana. Touch the earth. Feel that length. Inhale. Exhale. Sweep it out. Rising. Time. Elbows press to the inner thighs, lengthen the spine. Inhale, shine the heart. And then exhale, bowing to the heart center. Press the knees away. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, bowing to the center. One more cycle. Allow the hands to release down, lifting the hips. Inhale halfway, and exhale, fold. Lifting your left leg, let it rise up, standing split. So the right foot can come in towards the center, and just bow. Take a moment. Feel that activation of that right hamstring. Don't worry about what's happening or how high you're lifting your left leg. Just root down through the right foot. Feel Padabandha connect down. Step the left foot back into your lunge. Take your right arm, left foot steps way back. Take the right arm and extend straight out. And as you do, grow long through the right side and let your body crescent towards the left corner of your mat. Reach, grow longer. Pivot on the right heel, turn to the right, drop to the little toe of the left, and extend back. Parvarita Anjaneyasana. Bring your right hand along the horizon, lift the back heel, and extend the right arm to the left. And again, take it along the horizon and reaching it back. And again, right hand, just the right arm. Feel that current. Grow long. And back, exhale. Now this time, bring your right hand along the horizon to the inside of the right foot. Lower the left heel down and then walk your hands over. Bend the left knee, straighten the right leg. Press into the little toe of the right foot first. So Skandasana, right? The body is to the inside of the left thigh and you're lengthening the spine. And then shift. Bend the right knee, straighten the left, press into the little toe of the left foot. And then again, shift. Bend the left, straighten the right. Yeah. Once again, bend the right, straighten the left. And this time, as you bend the left, straighten the right, gazing forward, turn to the front of the mat, move to the front, lower the left knee down, sweep out, let it rise. And then take your time, opening up. Circle the arms around. Feel the energy. Inhale, we rise. And exhale. Just expand. Feel that length. Draw up. And then as you expand, take a moment, pause. Prana mudra. Heart is lifted. Add that smile. There, yes. Release the hands down to the earth. Lift the left leg, lift the left foot. Rise up, standing split. It's complete. Notice how that right hamstring start to feel from the right hip down to the earth. Right foot comes down by the left. Inhale, lengthen halfway. And exhale, fold. Sweep out to the side, rise all the way up. Heaven down, trace the midline, fold. Inhaling halfway, flat back. And exhale as you fold. Lift the right leg, let it rise up, standing split. Take a moment, pause, right? Don't focus on the lifted leg as much. Don't worry about how high. Bow, forehead towards the shin, let it go. And then step your right foot way back into your lunge. Take your left arm along the horizon and then feel that extension. And as you do, crescent over to the right, reach, go long. Pivot on the left heel, left hand along the horizon. Turn to the left, drop to the little toe of the back, extend. And again, left arm along the horizon, lift the back heel, take it out. And again, along the horizon, and shift back. Once more, feel that wave. And exhale. This time, left arm along the horizon, gather the breath, bring to the inside, shift. Knee straighten the left leg. First, press into the little toe of the left foot, lengthen the spine, flatten the back hip. And then shift, bend your left, straighten the right. And again, bend the right, straighten the left. One more cycle, full left knee bends, and then the right knee bends. opening up a little. Gaze to the front. Move forward into your lunge. Right? Feel the earth. Touch it. Right knee down. Arms sweep out. Rise up. And then expand. Open out. Circle it around. So you're gathering prana. Opening like the sun. What is that intention? What is your mantra? This time, as we open, just take that feeling of prana mudra. How does it feel in your body? Hands release down. Lift the right knee. Lift the right foot. Rise up, standing split. Breathing here. And then bringing your right foot down by the left. Inhale halfway. And exhale, fold. Sweep out to the side. Feel it rising. And then fold all the way down. Inhale halfway. And exhale as you fold. Heel to the feet out distance of the mat. Sweep your arms once again out to the side. Rise up. And drawing down, bend the knees. Coming in. Malasana. How are we doing? So we're going to be here a lot. For those who are like, what? We're going to be here over and over and over. Right? This is getting into the root. This is getting into that shift so that as we ground down, we can then take that energy within rising up, okay? So we're going to be in Malasana all day, all afternoon. Yay! Some are like, I already hate you. Right? It's okay. I'm good with that. Some are like, hands to the earth. Don't worry, we get out. There's always the counter, right? Lifting. Inhale halfway. And exhale, fold. Planting your hands. Take your time. Walk your feet back into down dog. So it's not a race. Just feel yourself moving into down dog. And just letting yourself just pause there. And take a moment. Just letting the breath. So lowering yourself down, coming into child's pose, and just surrender. Right? Balasana, also a great way of really feeling the earth. Child's surrender. And then from Balasana, gently going to roll the body just slightly up, sitting back onto your heels. So for those who like the gentle breeze, the air is going out a bit. Too much air can make it too much vata. Vata means air for those, right? In the Ayurvedic practice, the science of yoga. We don't want too much air going on because then we all get really spaced out, which is good. So we're going to come into this namaskar. Came through my practice. Some it incorporates variations, but see it first, because after we see it, you'll be like, what's going on, right? It's going to move us in a half mandala. We'll start, right? So your front of your mat, even though it's a rectangle, can be done in a circle, right? The left side, and then back through the left side. The right side, and then back through the right side. So you'll see this coming through. And so just feel, we're going to do this double leg lift. And then we come up. As we step. Ground in that pada 2-foot pattern. And then feel that rise up. Take it right in. Feel that wave lift. Parsa viratu. Bringing the body forward. You can modify. Forearm to the thigh. Left arm will come up. And that's the same movement. Prana apana. Circle it down. You'll stay in line. You'll root and then gather the energy. Shift down. From the hip, from the earth. Move across the earth. Take it out. Press down. We'll take it right up. Same thing now. Parsvaviratu. You can modify forearm to thigh or go a little deeper. And then that top arm will circle. As it comes through the center, you gather, rise, shift, and draw it down. Now here, move it through. Press. Take it out. Feel that growing, that danda from the left heel will rise up. Vira one. Back. Okie dokie. And you do your vinyasa. If you're not feeling the vinyasa, skip it. You will not get a ticket not doing chaturanga today. Believe me. Okie dokie. We play. We ready to dance? Let's come on in. Down dog. So take a deep inhale and open the mouth. Let it out, right? The first round will just be soft. Right? There is that energy and it feels a little bit more fluid. But as we connect into the power of the source, the earth, the divine, there is a power of the divine Shakti that rises up, right? The fertile soil of the desert awaken. So feet together, double leg lift, left leg, inhale, take your time, let it rise. Exhale, left down by the right, down dog. Right leg, inhale, let it rise. Coil in, right foot stepping through. Left heel turns. Now left arm, take it out to the front. Feel that length. Rise right up into reverse warrior. Parsvaviratu. Right forearm comes onto the thigh. Left arm comes straight up by your ear. Circle the left arm down through the center. And then as it passes, both arms lift up. Feel that rise. Turn towards the left side. Hands down the center line. Bend your right knee. Sit towards the earth. High or low. You get to decide. Dive to the back of your mat. Extend out. Take the right arm out. Left arm follows. Reverse warrior. Lift it up and back. Parsvaviratu. Bring your left arm forward. Left forearm to the thigh. Right arm by the ear. Circle the right arm through the center. Both arms lift up. Turn towards that side of your mat. Hands draw down. Bend the left knee. Sit deep. Your choice, high or low. Gaze to the front. Move, extend the arms out. Find that Vira 1 pattern. And then from the earth, rise up. Vira 1. Hands down to the earth. Nice. Stepping back. And in your vinyasa, heart will rise. Take your time. Explore the breath. Explore the wave. Explore that rising within you, current. So feet together. Double leg lift. Right leg, rise. Exhale, right foot by the left. Left leg, inhale, we rise. Exhale, stepping through. Right foot turns parallel. Right arm sweeps out. Feel the body rise, come up. Big motion, feel the space. Left arm keeps rising. Parsvaviratu. Exhale, come forward. Left forearm to the thigh. Right arm by your ear. Circle the right arm down. And as you do, gather from the earth. Both arms rise up. Turn to the side. Bend the left knee. Sit towards the earth. Gaze to the back. Dive to the back of your mat. Find that Vira 2 foot pattern. Left arm reaches out. Right arm follows. Reverse. Right forearm to right thigh. Left arm by your ear. Left arm circle. Both arms lift up. Turn to the side. Draw down. Bend the right knee. Gaze to the front. And then float. Take it out. Rising Vira 1. Exhale to the earth. Stepping it back. Exhaling chaturanga or skip it, up to you. Inhale, you rise. Exhaling back, down dog. So be mindful in the chaturanga, right? Try not to dip into your shoulders. Be safe, right? So if it's not serving you, really taking your time and just skip it. It's okay, I promise. You have your whole life to do yoga. I will tell you, doing this half mandala, the towels can get in the way, so if they start to bother you, just take them off, right? You can always put it back on later. So we're going to come into a couple more cycles of this namaskar, right? Yay! So feet together, double leg lift. Left leg, inhale, let it rise. Exhale, left by the right. Right leg, feel it rising. Exhale, right foot coils, it steps. Left foot turns, feel the left arm, take it out. Root down to rise, take it 8 and reverse. Pause. Right foot to thigh. Left arm by your ear. Circle your left arm through that center line and then gather both arms. Rise. Hands draw down. Bend the right knee. Dive to the back. Feel that Vira 2 foot pattern. Right arm goes out. Left arm will follow. Pause for Vira 2. Exhale. Left arm to the thigh. Right arm comes out. Now the right arm circles without dropping the shoulder. Feel that lift. Both arms rise. Hands draw down. Bend the left knee to the front. Extend. Inhale, we rise. Vira 1. Exhaling down. Stepping back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, we rise. And taking it back. Right. So feet together. Right leg, inhale, rise. Exhale, right by the left. Left leg, inhale, rise. Exhale, left foot, coil as you step. Right heel turn. Arm sweeps, right arm sweeps out. Left arm follows. Reverse. Exhale. Left arm comes forward to the thigh. Right arm rise. Circle that right arm. Lift. Both. Shift to the side. Draw down. Bend the left. Yes. Float to the back. Feel that. Rising up. 2. Take it up, reverse. Exhale. Right forearm to the thigh. Left arm by your ear. Circle that left arm around. Both arms rise. Draw down, shift to the side. High or low. Move to the front. Feel that rising. And to the earth. Step it back. Your vinyasa. Breathing back. In down dog. So take a moment. Big deep breath. Open the mouth and let it all go. And just surrender. Come down into child's pose. Take a moment. Breathing here. So we're going to come into this one more cycle, right? And just pause. Feel, right? There is a very grounded element of the earth rooted into the hips, right? If you don't feel your hips, let me know, because you're probably doing something wrong, right? Because you're feeling that. So gently roll the body up and just sit back for a moment, right? So we're going to do one more full cycle, right and left. See if on this cycle, right, and you don't have to go as deep, right, as that pulling down into the skandasana. If you need to stay high, stay up, right? But the one thing to try to do, to see if you can, is stay in the hip, right? I was like, oh, it's kind of like baking, right? For those who bake, I'm not a baker, but I understand baking, right? I'm not really someone who goes in the kitchen that often, right? I can cut cheese and bread and fruit, but I'm not one who bakes. But like the understanding of baking, you can't put it in the oven and just keep taking it out every 5 minutes. You have to put it in and let it cook, right? We're doing that, putting it in this namaskar. There will be the counter action, right, as we come out. But for a lot of us, we go in it, and then we want to come out. I want you to go in it and be in it, right? And so that action of, once we're here in this stance of Vira 2, the only thing that's actually shifting is our feet, right? They move on your mat. There is no need to come out of this hip once we go in it. It's there. Right? A lot of us, we come in and we're like, usually it's like, oh, my hips are so tight, my hips are so tight. Well, how long are you spending in your hips? Right? If your hips are tight, you got to spend more time in it. Just common sense, right? And so once we come in, right, we feel that stance, you're in that hip opening right now. Boom. Vira 2 is a hip opener, right? And that takes us into the side waist opening. Pars of Vira 2. We stay in the hip. My leg hasn't changed. And you come in here. Right? Here. And this is where everyone gets this like, okay, he's not watching. Ooh. Okay, then back in. No. Your feet shift on your mat, right? So as you're here, circle it round. Pivot on the heel. My leg hasn't changed. I just brought the foot in and down. If you have to stay high, stay high. If you can go low, go low. Counter now. This hamstring's like, yes. Then we move into that hip, right? And now this hip's like, oh, this one's free, right? And then again, you're here, circling, and then shift. Instead of coming out like, oh, already enough hip openers. My friends, when we come in later into Vishvamitrasana, you're going to want that hip opening. Need it to happen. So as you're here, right, in that circle, don't come out. Oh, Jesus, right? You're like, oh, right? And then we move, right? And even Vira 1 is a hip opener. Shoom. Right? Little princess poses. Vira, warrior. Shoom. Right? That's it. It stays right there. That way when we come out, it's like, oh, yes. Oh, praise, right? It feels good, the release. So when the prana can flow then again, okay? So one more cycle. We're going to stay in those hips. All right. Come on in, down dog. Some of you are like, I'm afraid. Don't fear your hips, my friend. Love your hips. You want to love them. Right? They give us the source of that roots, right? That divine. So breathing in. Feet together. We'll stay with that double leg lift. Inhale the left leg. Let it rise. Exhale left down by the right. Right leg. Let it rise. Right foot, coil as you step. Find that Viratu stance, then take the left arm out. Don't come out of it. Take it right up. Reverse. Right forearm to the thigh, left by your ear. Stay in it now. Circle the left arm. As it passes, both arms rise. Turn to the side. Bend that right knee. Yes! Gaze to the back. Float. Take it up. Reverse. Pass through Viratu into Parsa Viratu. Exhale. Left forearm to the thigh. Right arm by your ear. Circle. Both arms rise. Don't come out. And draw down. Yes, that's it. To the front. Take it out. In breath. Heaven to earth. Yeah. And then the hip goes, chaturanga or skip it. And then we rise. Drawing it back. So last cycle. Feet together. Right leg, inhale, rise. Exhale, right by the left. Leg, inhale. Exhale, coil as you step. Viratu stance, in grab, take it out. Right in reverse. Parsa Viratu. Exhale, left arm to thigh. Right arm, circle. Around we go. Lift. Shift the left foot and then bend. Float to the back. Find that Viratu stance. Left arm. And then the right follows. Reverse. Right forearm to the thigh. Left by your ear. Left arm. Circle it around. Both arms rise. Shift, draw down. I see you coming out, some of you. Robb. Giro one. Take it out. Heaven to earth. Back. And breathing in your down dog. Full deep inhale. Open the mouth. Inhaling. And exhale. And just feel. Noticing how you feel here, this moment. Breathing it in. So, my friends, take your time. Walk your feet to the outside of your hands. To the outside. Inhale, lengthen, lift halfway. And exhale as you fold. Sweep out to the side, rise up. Drawing down, bend the knees, coming in. Here we are again. How do your hips feel? Good, right? It's like, they're waking up, right? From where we began. You'll see the shift, like dramatically start to take place, right? There's no denying. You're like, oh yeah, Malasana has a different feeling than when we began. It is one of the Sanskrit words. I rarely ever use the English translation just because it's such a bizarre, it's something